Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel. The owners' meetings have, I guess they've wrapped up in Arizona. The Titans portion, of course, was earlier this week when GM Mike Borgonzi, head coach Robert Saleh spoke, and our man Jim Wyatt was there. You can find his work at TennesseeTitans.com. Jim, what's up? How you doing?
Not too much. I appreciate that Anita Baker lead in there.
Yes. That's good stuff right there here.
Just relaxing. That brought me back a little bit to my college days.
You've had a couple of months now. I don't know how much you've gotten to be around Robert Saleh with him transitioning and moving and all that stuff with his family, but you got to spend some time with him earlier this week. What's kind of been your vibe so far about the new Titans coach?
Oh, man, it's funny you ask me that because I was just on the verge of hitting the button on a Robert Saleh story that I just got through writing, and then I ran out of time, and I thought I'd file it after we did this interview. And my vibe from him is that he's really relaxed and he's feeling good. He said he bought a house at Nashville. He's got his kids in school. Some of them signed up for AAU. He's back to lifting and eating right. He said he got down to probably 205 when he was playing, when he would finish his first year with the Jets because of a lot of stress. He lost about 25 pounds. He's now 230, trying to get up to 240. He's bulking up again. So I think from a health standpoint, he feels good. From a family standpoint, he feels like he's in the right place. And from a team standpoint, I think he feels like he's got the right people around him, from the GM to his staff, and now players. So life is good for Saleh. I mean, buddies of mine that covered him with the Jets saw him and say he looks like a completely different person, like he's relaxed and in a really good place.
He comes across, and the reason like Joe and I liked him so much is he comes across as the no-nonsense, loves football, wants guys that love football. He said he wants to play fast and violent. And, you know, I'd be lying to you if I said that didn't remind me of a former Titans coach a little bit, and Mike Vrabel. Do you get kind of that sense that obviously he's a different coach, he's a different person, but that is the persona that he wants to bring to this team?
Well, he is all about physicality. And as far as Vrabel goes, and obviously they're both defensive-minded coaches, he's different from a personality standpoint. I mean, Vrabel, you know when he's around, and he is very outspoken about a lot of things. I think Robert, even though he is known for being kind of a motivator and an emotional guy, and for giving good rousing speeches to get people fired up, he's not a real a guy that brings a lot of attention to himself. He's got a different way that he approaches things. But yeah, he wants his team to play a certain way on Sundays, and some of that way might remind people of the way the Titans team played under Vrabel. I think what Robert Saleh needs to do, and what the plan is for the team to do, is to get this offense at a level that plays a certain way as well. And I think having Brian Daboll on the staff certainly is going to help do that.
We're talking to Jim Wyatt on the Chasing Big Joe show. Jim, I kind of ordered you last time you were on to go tell Mr. Borgonzi and Mr. Saleh that I'm a big fan of their work so far. Did you go do that?
I did, yeah. And they were very appreciative of that. Actually, took a couple of days off feeling like they kind of reached where they needed to be after hearing that. They got your approval.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, I knew you'd get the word to them, so thank you. No, you know this. I mean, for the couple of years, I mean, we on this show, we've been very hard on this football team, and whether right or wrong or not. But I just think, and not because you're on, Jim, I just think they're doing everything perfectly now. I mean, they got the coach that we wanted. The GM knows what he's doing. Great free agent signing. You're setting yourself up to go forward. I mean, I don't know if you feel it because you were with the team, you're employed by the team. I get that, but I tell you, the pulse now, I mean, and the launch of the new jerseys, there's something different now, and it feels good in the city with what the Titans are doing right now.
Yeah, and I'll say every offseason brings a different optimism, no matter what's going on, just because people are just naturally want to be optimistic and want things to go well. I have to be honest. There have been times in recent years, not that long ago, where I wondered when or if things were ever going to get better. Like just because the team just didn't felt like it was so far off from a roster standpoint. I wondered some about people making decisions, and I don't feel that way anymore. Like I feel like, and a lot of it, I have to say, starts with Mike Berganzi. Just because I watch him work, I know how he is. He's all about football. He is a grinder. He's one of these guys that probably needs to take more time off, but he doesn't because he's so interested in building this thing right. And, so to have him in place, I think, was a big step. And then he obviously, I think, did a good job in hiring a head coach. And the head coach and Berganzi worked together to build a good staff. I like some of the moves that were made in free agency. I think the quarterback's got the right makeup. You need to have a guy like that to push the team. And I'm as optimistic as I've been in a while about the direction things are headed. Now you got to win, and
right.
And that's the big thing in the fall is this team signed 21 players in free agency. They traded for 2 more. Like the roster is going to look a lot different, but I firmly believe this time that things are moving in the right direction and the Titans are headed up.
I love it. I know you do radio shows across the country. What's the common denominator question you get asked from markets outside of the Tennessee area?
Yeah, and I just got off one just a little while ago in Washington D.C. I mean, and the main thing they wanted to talk about was the new stadium and how soon Nashville will get a Super Bowl. And then the next question after that was who are the Titans picking in the draft? Are they taking Jeremiyah Love? Question after that, they asked me about Cam Ward and whether I believe in him. So those were the 3 hot-button issues with them. But, yeah, across the league, I did a lot of interviews this past week from the owners' meetings from people all over the country, and they all want to know about Nashville Stadium, the uniform, logo change, just the different vibe coming out of this team. And everything's positive right now, but you got to keep it that way once September and October roll around.
Jim Wyatt is with us from TennesseeTitans.com. You look at some of the offseason moves, and some were made yesterday. KJ Osborne is a guy that was signed as likely a depth piece, but a veteran, has been around a while. When you look at this new-look receiver room with Ridley staying and with the additions that have been made, do you see improvement on paper without having seen anything on the field yet? Obviously, Wandale coming in is a big signing, and he knows Brian Dable.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know that they're done yet. I think Wandale Robinson certainly may give him a who has done it before and plays a couple of different positions. I think just having Tim DK and Alec Ayoman going into year 2 should help. I think getting Ridley back was important just because he has done it before, because he has some speed, because he's got such a good relationship with Cam. And then I think, even a guy like KJ Osborne signed yesterday, I mean, he's a contender to at least be a solid 5 for you. So I think it's got a potential to be a good group. I still think that is a position that's going to have to just keep getting better. You can't do everything in one off season, and I think as we move forward, I think we want even more dynamic players at that position.
All right, Jim, you got a lot of pull over there, and don't say you don't because we know you do. So I need you guys to stop sending out things on April 1st. Like you sent out yesterday that you guys signed Hendon Hooker. I didn't respond because I thought somebody was playing a joke, right? April 1st. So I need you guys to do it on the 31st or the 2nd, right? I mean, so going forward, now you know for next year, okay?
Yeah, I got that from a couple of people wondering if that was real. I mean, that certainly made a lot of people happy. And
sure.
Let's face it, Hendon Hooker's coming in here to battle for a number 3 spot. because the starters could be Cam Ward. I know both Mike Berganzi and Robert Saleh certainly didn't want to dismiss Will Levis in the conversation when talking about the backup, but you bring Mr. Trubisky in here, you would think to be the backup. So then people say, well, why is Hendon Hooker here? I think you're just trying to give yourself as many options as possible. I suspect some other teams are interested in Levis, and we'll see what transpires here over the course of the next couple of weeks leading to the draft. But if Levis is traded, then you got Hooker here. If he's not traded, those two guys can battle it out. I personally like Levis. I feel like he's in a tough situation here from the coaching staff standpoint, from what the team was like standpoint. He didn't help himself either, but he still. I mean, if it's a battle between Levis and Hooker, I'd put my money on Levis. I think he gives the best chance to win the game. I just don't know that he's going to be here, and I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens.
Have you, I don't know, I'm not saying you're a doctor, but any reports, I know Cam had the injury in the last game versus Jacksonville. Is there a timetable? You can't answer this. I don't know, I'm asking the question, but any word about his rehab or anything?
The only thing, I'm not a doctor, and I did not stay at the Holiday Inn Express when I was out in Phoenix, but I will say that they've been very tight-lipped as far as what they said about him, other than he is progressing and on track. That's the terminology that they've used. But I think they were fortunate. I mean, it's very unfortunate that he got hurt at all and had to spend any time rehabbing. But the thing is he had time just to rest. He wasn't in that sling very long.
Right.
He's already started throwing. That's something that they have acknowledged, too, that he started throwing. And I think just each step along the way, he's just going to keep getting better. But I don't see that being a concern at all as the offseason goes on.
Well, that's good. And if I talked to Brian Dable, I'm going to say, look, one thing, take away from me. Do not have in the playbook any design runs for Cam Ward. We had a 3-hour show one day, Jim, after he got injured. I don't like design runs for your franchise quarterback. Now, if he scrambles and it's the heat of the moment, I get that. But don't design run, because that's what that was, and look what happened. I'm just not a fan of that, especially when that guy is your future.
Yeah, I have to say I agree. Like, I know you can do some of that stuff, and you can get a quick, 8-10 yards maybe, or catch a team off guard. But I have to wonder if the bang's worth. If you're getting your bang for your buck there, whether the whole risk reward thing is that, maybe you can catch a team by surprise and pick a quick 8 yards. But in the grand scheme of things, you need him to be healthy. Does he need to run and scramble more? I think maybe yes. But he's got to get down. He's got to get out of bounds. I don't want to see him rolling his shoulder and trying to bowl for extra yards. He doesn't need to prove to anybody he's tough. He needs to be healthy. And so I will say I'm with you on that.
Thank you, buddy. Last question. Where were you when Tyler Tanner almost made that three-pointer versus Nebraska?
I started off on my couch. I ended up on my floor. And I was so disappointed. I mean, but it shouldn't have come down to that. I mean, you can't count on a miracle shot like that to win it. It almost went in. Vanderbilt just didn't play like itself the first half of that game, and then they got to where they needed to be perfect at the end, and they weren't. But I guess what disappoints me, because it was such a good, fun season to watch them. I think they have a really good team. I think this is a potential Final Four team, and to see how things played out the rest in that region the rest of the way. Vandy plays Iowa. I think they could have beaten Iowa. I think they could have beaten Illinois, but you just got to play well when it matters, and they didn't take advantage of what could have been a great situation. I looked at what Tennessee did. Tennessee didn't do anything special. I know people talk about they made a great run to the Elite Eight. They beat a Miami Ohio team that probably shouldn't have been determined. They beat a Virginia team that was not, tried to give it away at the end. They played Iowa State without their best player, and then they got to Michigan, and we all saw what happened there. But the thing they did, and I give them credit for, is they won the games like that you're supposed to win.
Right.
And Vandy Vandy should have beaten Nebraska. Vandy, I think, wins that game in any other regional site. And I think they beat Nebraska 8 out of 10 games, but because a couple of guys didn't show up at the most important time, they lose and need a last-second shot to win it. So, yeah, I was crushed by that. I'm still getting over that loss. But I feel very good about the program and the head coach, and hope that Tyler Taylor's coming back.
Jim, I got one more Titans question for you before we let you go. Mike Borgonzi said best player available, and he said that multiple times to you all when he talked earlier this week, that was kind of what they were looking at when it came to the pick at 4. Robert Saleh said edge rushers or playmakers or game changers too, and so I respect all that. Looking at the 4 guys that continue to be linked to the Titans, I think we can all agree if they walked away with one of those guys, everybody should feel good. With that said, you saw what Eddie George did for Steve McNair. You saw what Chris Johnson did for Vince Young and Kerry Collins, and obviously what Derrick Henry did for Mariota and Tannehill during their times here. Looking at Love as that playmaker, game-changing offensive guy, do you feel like that may be what Cam Ward needs going into year 2?
Well, it's funny. I do these things, and I sometimes hope I do them, and nobody listens. Like I hope the guy would never listen to my interview saying what I ought to do, because he knows so much more football than I do. Same with Robert Saleh. Same with all these scouts. I'm deferring to them as far as it goes to football knowledge. But if you're asking me, since I write for the team, and you asked me to be on the station to give my opinion, I am going to give my opinion, and I think I would pick Jeremiyah Love. I think, and part of it's people always trying to dismiss running back, and running back's too high at number 4 because of Eddie George and his impact on this organization, and because of Chris Johnson, his impact, Derrick Henry. All those guys were responsible for the Titans having the number 1 seed in the AFC and a chance to win the Super Bowl each of those years. They didn't lose those years because of the running back. They lost because of other things. I think Jeremiyah Love has a chance to be the best player coming out of this draft. I like the looks of Bailey. I like the looks of Reese. I like Bain. Sonny Styles. All those guys intrigue me, but I can't sit here and say any of those guys are going to be the next Devon Curtis. I thought Abdul Carter would be an absolute wrecking ball coming into this season. His impact was somewhat minimal. So I'm taking the best player, and the best player I think is going to be Jeremiyah Love. But there's no guarantee he's going to be there at 4, because some other 3 may decide the same thing. And but I think Jeremiyah Love and what he would mean to Cam Ward, this offense, and this team, I wouldn't pass him up.
Jim, good stuff. Appreciate it as always. I'm with you on the Vanderbilt comments as well. Hopefully they can continue to build and Tanner comes back. But we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
Okay, y'all have a good Easter weekend. Thank you.
Absolutely. Jim Wyatt, TennesseeTitans.com is where you can find his work. We'll react to that coming up next, live from the Omni, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.